Have you seen Love Island before? The other day, I overheard some of my youth kids talking about some lady named Huda. I thought they were gossiping, but I just said, "What are you guys talking about?" And they said, "We're talking about Love Island." And they told me the story. There's this guy and this girl, and this guy is trying to go after two girls. I don't know. I got confused. I said, "Should I watch the show?" But they said, "No, no, no, no. Don't watch it." I said, "Why?" They said, "Because it's very Arab." And if you don't know Arabic, that means it's like very inappropriate. And I just thought about it. I said, okay, like why are they watching it then, you know? And so I was just thinking about it. I just want to share something with you guys. The show is about relationships. It's about people hooking up with each other, trying to find who they're going to marry or be with. I don't know. But I just think that because of the cultural obsession with this show, I think it's a good opportunity to talk about the Christian idea of marriage and of relationships. And actually, many people don't know that the Bible is a love story. It's the greatest love story of all time because it's about God coming down to this world to give himself completely to us. And St. Paul actually describes it as Christ is the bridegroom and he gives his life for his bride, the church. Now, think about it. Think about relationships nowadays. I know of many beautiful relationships, strong, good people, holy people. But think about the many relationships in this world. Are men doing this? Are they giving themselves completely as a sacrifice? Because that's what the Bible says. That's what the Bible says about marriage is that you have to sacrifice your life for your bride. And yet, what we find, even in many Christian marriages, in many Catholic marriages or relationships, let's just say, we find people not doing that, people not being willing to sacrifice. We find people talking a lot, but not really acting, not truly sacrificing of themselves. And one of the big problems that the show shows us and that we see in our society is that many people are intimate with each other before marriage. And there's a reason why the Bible is against this. The main reason is that in that act, you are consummating, you are giving your body, your whole body, and yourself to the other person. That is something that should not just be done randomly. That is something that should be done after many trials have been overcome, after much sacrifice has been made, after a vow has been made, a promise has been made before God and the church, after having received the sacrament. And so you can see that consummation as like a peak, like you've built up the relationship, you've gotten to know each other, you've been there for one another, you haven't been lustful or intimate with one another in that way. And now you receive that as a gift. You have earned it basically, and you can give of yourself, of your body to the other person. And then you can start having children, and then you can have a family. But when you do it early on in a relationship, look at what happens. You build up, you build up, you build up, and then you get married, and then you do it, and then you have your whole life ahead of you. But when you do it in the beginning, you bring it down here. There's no more mountain, basically. And I hope that if you've done it and if you have a relationship, I really hope it works out for you. And I hope that you do it God's way. But this is the reality that many people nowadays, following the example of the people that are on the show, many people treat intimacy as very cheap, as just, I'm going to do it with this person and I'm going to try it and then I'm going to do it with this person. This is not the way of God, brothers and sisters, my friends. This is not God's way. God's way is to wait until marriage. God's way is that intimacy in a marriage is meant for a husband and a wife who have made that vow with one another and who do it in a way that's open to life also, so that it's not selfish. And so then they give of themselves for one another, just like how Jesus gave himself for his bride, the church. And when we imitate the Lord, when we follow his will and not our own will, not our own desires, that's how we will be the most happy.